Hi guys, so we are playing on Valguero at the moment, and as you can see we've started getting ourselves Ice Wyverns. And take note that I said Wyvern there because that's the only time I'm probably going to pronounce it right. Anyway, these guys are an absolute turd to get hold of because unlike on Ragnarok and Scorched Earth, these are all the ice variety, which makes something like just breeding a really good RG to go fight them not really viable. We had a much better RG than I used on Ragnarok to do that, and it didn't go so great. Like it was really hard to even kill off 2 or 3 of them, whereas on Ragnarok I could just go in and fight everything. So the method to do this is you're going to have to build a pen. You're going to want to have access to generators, to remote control pads, and to auto turrets, because you're going to need them to keep yourself safe when you pick up the egg, because they're all going to charge you. You're also going to want a half decent Pteranodon. Now this guy was tamed I think around about 130, 140, and I've got a decent saddle on him. Oh, I've got loads of junk in my inventory, I do apologise about that, but I've taken up his stamina. So what you're going to do is you're going to build a pen, something you can lead them into, and then on the other side of that pen you have a little safe room. You go and land in there, you use the remote control pad to close the door, and then you can just kill them or drop them with tranks or with a weapon. I've got Old Faithful from Ragnarok. Yeah, totally ported that one over. And then what you can also do on top of that is you can have a couple of turrets that will deal with the situation when you pick up your first egg and they all come charging you. Once you get that first egg, so this one here was a level 90 when we got her. We leveled up her health, stamina, and a bit of her melee. Then it's a piece of piss to actually get hold of the better eggs, because she will be able to either outrun them, they won't do any damage with the ice attack, or she can fight them gradually. I would say you want to go for about a 90 or 100 level. But anyway, so I'm going to go and show you on the beach how to build the pen, and then I'm going to go over and show you the setup of the safe room, and I'm going to demonstrate how to do this. Now the reason I'm building this on the beach is I think I've used the best area over there to build my pen. I don't really want to show you a bad area to build it. Okay, so this is a fairly decent sort of sized area to work with. So we're going to build this all out of stone, and we're going to use stone foundations, fence foundations, behemoth gates, and some pillars. So you're going to go ahead and throw the fence foundation roughly in the middle of where you want the pen to be. So we want it going that way, so I'm just going to put it like this. And then from here, I'm going to go backwards 2. And I'm going to take another one off. And I'm going to do that another 2 times. And then I'm going to go a last one here. So we're going to have 5 of those sticking out like that. Right, now I'm going to go ahead and pick up the ones in the middle. Right, okay, so now what we can do is just go ahead and snap our behemoth gates to them. Go off to the side, kind of looking like that. And there we go. We should be able to do the same thing on all of these. Now if they don't snap, like if you see like a really short gap between them, kind of do it like that. I'm pressing E there to change the orientation of it. So I'm looking at it, that's a little bit too close, press E, just make sure they're all snapping okay. Yep, and then the same one here, just go look here, press E, there we go. And this one might snap okay, press E. Yeah, we'll snap that one back like that. That one's off to the side. There we go. Yep, that's perfectly fine, and we haven't got too much of a gap between them. Right, okay, that's perfectly fine for a size of gate. Now, last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and pick up these or destroy them. Doesn't matter, it's just I find it messy. Now, I've left this last foundation here because we're going to use this to line up some pillars. So there you go there, and see I've got 4 in the middle, which means that I can now snap pillars as they need to be. So we've got 1 right in the middle of those, and then is that too wide? Should be there really, ideally. There we go, put it in the wrong place. Right. So you want it in the middle of those 2, and then in the middle of the last 2 pillars like that. Now, and then you're just going to take these all the way up to the top. Now if you are going over here on a Pteranodon, it's perfectly possible to just get those up to the top by flying close. There we go. And then just repeat that for the other 3 pillars. Right, there we go. And then the last thing is to just throw a gateway on the back here. And then you want to set this to a pin that's easy to remember. I always set my gates to 0, 0, 0, 0, and I set my turrets to 1, 1, 1, 1. But what we would then do is we would have this open. And if we had a wyvern following us, we would come in from a fairly long distance away. Lead them into here. They'd get stuck. We can fly through. We go and land in our little safe room on the other side. Smack our remote control and say 0000 for deactivate, and it close the door behind it. And you can get 2 or 3 stuck in there if you need to. And also on top of that, I would have some turrets. So I'm going to go and show you that in action. I'm going to come out of creative mode, and you'll be able to see how you can get these with a pteranodon. Right, here we are, guys. So we're right near the trench. As you can see there, but that sort of brown line between 10 by 70 and 10 by 77 is where the wyverns are. As you can see, there's quite a few of them over there. Now, I built my first one over here. I wouldn't say go for a central position, because when you're coming back to it, you're likely to aggro everything all the way along the trench. So if you have the possibility of doing it, I would build your pen over on like the left or the right hand side of the trench. There will be far less of them to deal with when you pick up an egg. And it's also a shorter distance to fly to. So we'll go over here. And as you can see, we've actually got one over here that's harassing some mammoths. Also, be really careful over here though. There are ice golems. So he's probably going to aggro me. We go ahead and turn off my turrets. So we're going to deactivate. Right, so my gate is open. So we go up top and throw this ammo into the turrets. You should be off. It seems to be a funky thing going on with turrets at the moment. Is for some reason I have to reset the pin every time the server restarts. I don't know why. Let's just double check that's working right. Right, there we go, and let's just make sure the door's working right as well. Yes, that's working right. I may have just not pressed deactivate by accident. Right, okay, so I think they're about to attack me. If I could, yep, there we go. So as you can see, they have actually got a little bit of damage on me there. It's not too much of a problem. It's going to fly up. This is why you want the nice saddle. As you can see, I can hear they're stuck in there. Yep, they're trying to attack me. Right, so I'm just going to fly over, deactivate. And there we go, we've got them stuck in there. Let's see, do we have any females? Female and a male. Right, so let's deal with that male. Ah, okay, that's the male dealt with. Right, now then we will trank her. Right, let me just go ahead and grab the milk out. We do have a stacking mod, you would have to grab it manually. Let's finish her off. Right, and now it's a case of rinse and repeat. We're just going to go ahead and see if there's a possibility of us getting down to the eggs. And if there is, then we go ahead, turn the turrets on, grab an egg and run. Okay, so there's one here. And you see, they won't actually hit you. If you get far enough away, they won't hit you. But I think I'd waited a bit too long for me to turn there. Here it comes. As long as we fly straight through here. Go. Oh. Big boy, isn't he? I feel bad about this. Now obviously I am playing with the benefit of like 2 or 3 maps worth of good gear. If you are looking for gear, I would recommend going over to the loot cave. As you see, I actually did this one a little bit differently. The method I've shown you is definitely far more efficient. Right, okay, so there is an Ice Wyvern over there. There's a few over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go down and look at the nests and let's see what happens. See if we get attacked straight away. No, and is there an egg in that one? There is. Right, so I'm going to have a run at it. So let's go back and turn on the turrets to make sure there's nothing following us. Nope. Right, that's turrets on. Also with the turrets you do want to make sure they are obviously targeting wild creatures and they are on high distance. Right, let's make a run on this egg. Just hoping it's a high level one. Level 100, perfect, I'll take that. Now we're going to have many friends. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to slow down and let them kind of all come in. Okay. Now I need to peg it. Another one coming in there. Now you'd probably want far more ammo than I put in there. I only put 250 shots in each one. Right, so also as you can see they are quite heavy, the eggs. I don't need that much sulfur. I'm probably carrying way too much stuff that I don't need. So let's just drop a few things. Drop a bit of hide. There we go. Right. And now this is a level 100 egg, which would be a very good one to start off with to go and get the eggs yourself. I'm just going to go and see if I can find a better one, and then I'll demonstrate what a level 90 can do when it comes to dealing with the wyverns. Wyverns. God damn it. Right, so I've just gone ahead and picked up our level 90, or the one that was hatched from a level 90. And as you can see, she's not got bad stats. I think she had 6,000 health to start with, 500-ish stamina, and about 140-ish melee. That was after imprinting. And she's going to do perfectly fine for getting more eggs. Obviously, I will need to be a little bit careful with her, but it will enable me to get more of the eggs. But the most important thing is she won't be damaged by the ice attack. And as you could see with the Pteranodon, the real damage there was not the actual ice attack itself. It was the slow from the ice attack. And that's why you do need to have some way to deal with it. But if you do have that way to deal with it, this isn't quite as scary as it might seem. And I will say this though, that I think that it is an absolute travesty that Wildcard has never implemented any sort of stun immunity after a while, because every game that I've ever played that has stuns knows that it's just not fun to be constantly stunned. And you need to develop an immunity to it. Like, you know, the stun is really the most dangerous thing in any game. Like, damage you can tank or you can deal with or you can out damage it. But stuns, like something like that, is inescapable. Okay, so now we can deal with these wyverns quite easily. For starters, I can outrun them if I need to, but let's go and get some attention here. You see absolutely no damage from that attack. And like with all things, you know, a well leveled up and an imprinted tame dino is always going to outdo a wild dino. Except for gigas. Or, as I learnt recently, they should be pronounced Jigger. And that was fairly easy to deal with. Let's go and clear some more. Now I would say that actually the easiest way to deal with these is to just stay still and hit them as they try and fly around you. Gives a high level egg. So what you can actually do is when you land, you can actually see the egg quite easily. So I don't want that one. Yeah, 25. Yeah. Level 20. Ah. So no decent eggs here. So I'm going to have to clear them. So let me just show you how much easier it is to get away once you've done this. So I'm going to land her here. Jump off. Be careful there's none of them around. Pick that up and go. Quite a few of them after me. I think I can deal with this. Right, so I just flew about a bit and he gave up eventually. Yes, she was quite bloody, so I didn't really want to push it. Her health is about 1/4 now, I think. Yeah, it's up to about 1/4. But as you can see, like I took that really quite far and I was still able to get away safely, deal with it. It was nowhere near the risk you would be on another flyer. So once you get one of these, it's a game changer for getting those eggs. And then once you get a high level egg, you can go down and get the fire wyvern eggs. I will say that those fire ones, though, they're a bit of a turd. But you can still deal with them. Pretty much the same thing, just don't try and get into a fight with like 10 of them at the same time. Right, guys, so I hope you found this useful. I hope it shows you how you can go and get the eggs. And it also shows you that once you get like even a level 90, you are more than capable of dealing with anything. If need be, you can just take it and run. Or you can build them to fight pretty well. I mean, she took on a 185 and whatever that other tough one was at the same time. I probably could have finished them off, but I chose to run. I really didn't want to risk any more of her health because she was down under 1,000. Right, guys, hope you found this useful. Hope it helps you get the eggs. Have fun.